Hello everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. For me, 8:59 a.m. Look at me, I'm all early. And it's a hardcore classic day. I am on my Warlock. Don't worry, she still has her helmet. I just decided to hide it because I missed her cute little haircut. I am going to Arathi Highlands, but not before I've turned in a quest. I ran all the way over the Eastern Kingdoms to get the stuff to... I'm pretty sure we're going to... I don't think this is a very, very legal quest, but you know, it's from, I think, the Slaughtered Lamb, so that might explain why. It's our favorite plum. Good evening, everyone. Good stuff, dudes. Sorry your Saturday is ending. Ours is just beginning. We're at the beginning of what could be a magical Saturday, or what could be one of those Saturdays where you wear a lot of layers and you become an egg and you think eggy thoughts in your egg form. I'm downstairs, I suppose. Cool hairs. Speaking of gambling, once I'm on my flight point to my questing area, I'll load up the prediction if you guys want to bet on whether or not today's the day that I die. What do you want to do? So, Lord Wishuk is asking, impertinent questions, apparently. And he likes liquor, so we've made him something that seems mean. He's trying to get this tavern shut down, so we're taking a Black Claw Stout, milling about the Hall of Petitioners. Well, at least this one's still in Stormwind. I had to get one flower from Duskwood and one from the wetlands. And then come all the way back here, so, and without a mount, that's a bit of a project, so I'm glad that he's at least continuing to pay me well. I got 25 silver for the first part. I'll take 25 silver for the second part. Plus another 2,400 experience. Alright, now we're talking. I'm glad I did it. I was kind of feeling like I was wasting my time before, but now we're starting to, that's almost worth it. Brennan UK, thank you very much for the 9-month resub. Appreciate it. Also, Dark Hill, I don't know if I thanked you for your 7-month resub. Thank you very much. I'm feeling a little better today. I will in about 25 minutes. I took a Dayquil. I got something. I'll be fine in a few days. I was hoping I'd be better today, but what do you do? We were not doing well yesterday. I took a nap after a stream, and then I thought it was gonna... Sometimes you take a nap when you're feeling a bit sick, and then you wake up and you're like cured. And that was not meant to be, so I did not make a news video. There is no Saturday news video. I might, if I'm feeling awake later today, I might do a late one, but I might just give it until next week. Take a week off. Sorry, Gaps. No, all good. All good. 5 levels till mount. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel in regards to that. I'm starting to feel like we could actually maybe make it to 40. It always seemed like such a long shot, but we're 35. We haven't died yet. Knock on wood. Honeybun Games, thank you for the 28-month resub. Happy 28 months. The nap betrayed you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I think the nap did its best. We'll be all right in a few days. We got some stuff delivered, so we are loaded up on tea and soups and just ready to stay home for a few days and. You know, hang out with the puppies. So he's gonna be... I guess I need to go this way. Light at the end of the tunnel is the oncoming train. Well, what if you like trains? You always wanted to see a train. Look on the bright side, Jeff! Oh, nice. Oh, man. I have walked by somebody in Stormwind twice today called Obi-Wan Jabroni, and both times it's kind of cheered me up a little bit. That was pretty good. Boss 330, thank you for these 6-month resub. How are things? I'm not you. You. Yes. Can you not see I'm busy? My words must be heard. I am very important. That's how you know. Out of my sight. Let me enjoy my drink. Is he gonna die? Is he just gonna pass out? Oh no, he's a corpse. He is dead. he's super dead. I guess that's the end of that. Do we, oh no, if we go back, we'll get another one and, claim your reward. 250 experience, but maybe they'll give me like a, I don't know, a thing. I don't know what kind of thing, but something. Ryan902, thank you for the 11-month resub. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Hello, Hazel in chat. Hello, Isla. We have a shadow priest named Mana Del Rey, and it's great. Imagine an alternate universe where one's punishment was to solo level every class in hardcore. I mean, increasingly that's becoming just my weekends. I like the early levels better than the late levels. And I guess it would become a great deal of punishment towards the late levels, but I keep making other classes to just poke around with in like the starting zones and stuff. I haven't done a rogue yet, but it's on my list. I think the only ones I have no interest in is probably paladin and shaman. They can live their lives. I am this close to having duplicate hunters, despite the fact that my hunter hasn't died. What if I had a dwarf one? She would have a gun. It would be totally different. It would be a completely separate thing, and definitely not the same class in the same version of the game doing the exact same challenge on the same faction in the same zones. Named my Wrath Druid Drusilla, hoping people are old enough to catch the reference. Mad Season has resolved to level every class to 60 in hardcore. Well, that'll keep them busy for a while. Different pets, too. Sort of, except that I feel like I would end up with a bear on both of them. I have a bear on my Night Elf Hunter, and then I would have a bear, because I like bears. They're fluffy, and they're like sort of rectangular, and you can feed them anything. They're big old trash cans. I would name the bear something different. I am what the people call hopeless. Boars are nice. Different bear. Yeah. Brown bear. Trash bear. Oh goodness. You can feed those anything. Fluffy rectangular trash cans. Heard it here first. Yeah, the boars aren't as cute as the bears. I know the boars have charge, but they're all like, I don't know. They're not as cute. If they were like the rounder piggies that were added in BFA, but we're in hardcore. Nothing's been added anywhere. Sun bears are my favorite bears. Bears are more sensitive. That you mean have 3 hunters unless your troll hunter died? Oh, I think I deleted the troll hunter. I think Kabiku. I didn't even kill her first. I just decluttered her from my loading screen. Flabby and I are playing dwarves now instead, so Thogna kind of made Kabiku a bit redundant. Pandas are the best. I go for the cats. Cats served me well for quite a while. I do like a good leopard. Why not plump pigs? Okay. You're welcome. I hear Lord Wishick enjoyed his beverage. I thought we were just gonna, incapacitating the guy. I didn't think we were gonna murder him. I prepared a special gift for you. Oh, it's a hat! I don't think I can wear it, though. It's 7 int and 7 spirit. It's Warlock only. But I'm wearing 8 spirit and 9 stam, and stam's kind of nicer than spirit. Or int, rather. Speak with the servant to complain. Oh, thanks. Is it a cool looking hat? This is important. It is a cool looking hat. If this game had transmog, that would be a consideration. I mean, I could just wear it anyways. That's an option. Should I pick this up? What do you want? Knowledge of the orb of... You've made it this far. Truly astonishing. I know, right? I haven't even been to... I mean, I'll carry the quest around with me, I suppose, but I haven't even been back to the Barrens. I want to go to the Arathi Highlands today to go quest. I am not doing Warlock quests. I am not doing first aid stuff. That's in Theramore. I looked it up because my first aid is 225. I am going to the Arathi Highlands. I did one quest already there, and I need to turn it in, so that's a, bright spot to start the day with. My hearth will take me to Ironforge, and then I'll put myself on a flight path, and then I will load up that prediction. But my plan for Arathi is to kind of tread carefully, poke around, and figure out what I want to do. If I can, sort of pick through some quests by sniping mobs off the edge of things, or if I would prefer to just, grind beasts and skin them. We have options. Anything that gives experience is good. If I can find any place to farm and to level that will offer me iron, if there's mining nodes, that would be sick. I'm still, 3 mining skills short of being able to, mine gold. I saw a gold node yesterday in Arathi, and it required mining 155, and I have mining 152 because apparently I'm a worm. So I need to mine 3 more nodes of iron, and I have not been able to find them. Spoiled Bat, thank you for the 22-month resub. Haven't been able to catch you live in a while. Hope you and partner Miss Kira and Mr. Moose are all thriving. Thank you. We're doing good. Mr. Moose is so cute. He is such a bun. Vanilla my hunter. I had to get Bangladesh had a winter spring frost sleeper for the longest time. Trainer, part of the Green Fire quest line in Pandaria. Throwback. So yeah, up to Refuge Point, and I'm gonna launch a prediction. Who wants to bet on whether or not the Warlock eats it? Bites the dust. Is today the day? Hasn't been so far, but you only gotta die once and then it's back to the drawing board. Bear in mind, I won't hold it against any of you if you bet on my death. For long. Spooky too, thank you for the 15-month resub. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Highlands have some big dangers too. This is true, and I'm not very experienced in them. I am, while I'm flying, going to look it up in Deathlog and kind of poke around and see what people tend to die to there. So if we go to Zone, and we go to Arathi, it looks like Witherbark trolls in that cave are highly dangerous. Those Syndicate Highwaymen, they stealth. I was up around that farm earlier. They stealth. Lord Falconcrest spawns in the keep. He takes people out. Forsaken Bodyguards. Okay. And then Hammerfall Peons. So I wonder if this farm here is actually like horde territory, and maybe I should stay away from it. Fosric also tends to kill people, but he does so in lots of places. I feel like you summon him during a quest, maybe not. Drowning. 46 people have drowned. I'm a warlock, I don't have to worry about that. Syndicate Prowlers. So basically, I'm going to stay out of Stromguard Keep. I'm going to stay out of that cave. Everything else I feel like I can kind of sort of poke around at. Maybe avoid that place. And we should be, you know, maybe okay. We'll see. Bodyguards, the roaming ones, walk through the whole zone. Horde Alliance patrol on the main road you have to watch out for. Okay. That's probably our biggest danger then, because I'm comfy and I'm a tiny bit dozy on cold meds. So if there was anything that was gonna, you know, creep up behind me and go, today would probably be the day. Fosric won't attack you unless you do. Typically give more character slots with each expansion. No, not usually. It's something that people really have to badger them about. All right, I'll be cautious of the road then. Is my next plan. My health stone restores 600 health, which is kind of a lot. I have Mage Weave bandages, which are pretty strong. If I'm trying to just recover from, I don't know, aggressive life tapping or something. My talent points I'm spending lately are no fun. They're no good. I need to put one more next level into Fell Intellect because I don't really want any of the rest of this. And I need to do that before they start letting me put points into Master Demonologist, which will be really good. That's going to reduce my damage taken and my Voidwalker's damage taken for every point that I put into it. We just want to get into these. We eventually want to get into Soul Link. And after that, if we fill all that out, I haven't done the math. I have not plugged any of this into a calculator, but if we can get to the bottom and we still have more, at that point I'll probably go, I don't know, improve corruption or like change the resistance thing or like, what does this do? Shadow Bolt crits? Nah, it's more of like a rating thing. I'm just a leveling gnome. Not entering the Magora Attorney, no. Add more racist classes, they usually do. Surprised the kobolds in the northeast aren't more deadly. People definitely die there. There is a little red spot on the heat map. It just didn't make the top billing on the big list. Quest-wise, I have a quest for some Witherbark tusks. There's a couple of trolls that are just sort of like scattered around the outsides of this ogre cave. There's also an ogre cave over here that I think I might be able to... I want to poke around in there and see if I can farm in there. There might be good mining for me to do, in addition to just, you know, experience and gold from killing stuff. We're excited for 40, but we're also excited for 37, neither of which are today. But I'm carrying around Jaina's Firestarter. I bought it in advance because I liked the price on the auction house and I committed to it early. So we must make it to 37 so that we can use this weapon. So we're going to get Mr. Hellgrave back. Arathi Flight Point, very convenient and centered. Yeah, at least there's a flight point here. It's more than you can say for Stranglethorn. I mean, there's a flight point in Booty Bay, but that's not helpful to me. We're gonna get our health stone. Turn in this one quest that we already did. Very good, very good. Stromguard badges, 37 plus. Yeah, maybe not. We're gonna just not worry about that. And nice little food buff. I'm eating 8 stam food. I can cook and now use 12 stam food, which is a pretty big boost, but white spider meat's expensive and I'm not at a level where I can farm them yet. So that's kind of a later me problem. I will just make do with 8. I want to kind of go do a lap, I think. I want to do a lap and see if I can get any more of these witherbark tusks. Apologize now for my prediction. I like to gamble too much. No, by all means. That's the game. Can't hate the players. Don't hate anybody. Have a snack. Enjoy the changing fall colors in the trees. Died in my 58 hunter. Done with HC for a while. I don't blame you for that. I would need a break too. Someone randomly gave me thick armor kits and Stranglethorn today in Wrath. Very nice. It's cool when people are generous like that. So I'm going to stay clear of the road. I'm going to watch my back. And I just want to kind of do a little lap of this cave. I'm not going in this cave yet. These ogres are just about my level, like one maybe below me. And I can probably farm them, but we're going to take it a little bit easy. I might do a double pull these raptors. These are level 30s, so that's not anything too scary. So yeah, get that one. And then you go get that one. Taunt it. We taunt the both of them, and I'll dot up the second one. There we go. I finally accepted the trade without offering anything back. They just rode off into the sunset. Whenever I get presents from people, I usually give them a piece of something random. I just look in my bags and see if I have anything at all on me. Typically this is Flabby. Flabby will give me something, and then I will be like, here, would you like to have this crusty barnacle? And then he has to take the crusty barnacle unless he wants to do the whole trade over again. So I think I'm kind of griefing, but it's cute in my head. Wife and I went out for Chinese food, found out that next year is the year of the dragon. Cloth, you assume they picked up the armor kit somewhere in a chest or something? I got a splitting hatchet of the tiger. It's a one-hander agi strength weapon. I might actually be able to sell that. You'd think that agi strength would be a weird stat combo, but it's actually really good for warriors because agi is going to give them dodge. It's going to give them crit. Strength is no good at all for hunters, but agi is good for warriors because life isn't fair. Yeah, rogues. It would be good for rogues as well. Rogues can also make use of agi and strength. It means a new dragon mount coming in February. I'm so curmudgeonly. My first thought was, oh wow, another dragon. I'm gonna put it with the rest of my dragons in the dragonary. I have a few of them. There's yeah, I have a chance to get that. However, we want to be really careful going down here because those guys are pretty high level. I don't think it's worth the tin vein. If it was iron, I would be risking it all right now, but I think I'm going to climb back up that hill and head the other way. Are you surprised by how slow classic leveling is? Surprised? No, people hyped it up a lot. people were not sneaky or subtle. There was no subterfuge whatsoever. It was made very clear that this was going to be a really long, slow grind. I don't think it's that bad. I think it would be worse if I was trying very hard to get to a given level, especially in a certain time frame. So like if I had friends and they wanted me to get to 60 so we could do a raid, and I, for whatever reason, had agreed to that madness, then I would probably be stressed of being like, okay, I have another 40 hours I got to put into this, and it would become less fun. But in hardcore, for me anyways, leveling is totally 100% the journey. People have already killed all these mobs. I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna find my own mobs. Oh, I found one. I like his nose. He's got pink on it. I would wear pink face paint. 41 is the halfway point. That is what I have heard. That is what I have heard. About surviving, not rushing to 60. Yeah. Every mob is a victory. You know, you gotta live in the moment. Or you don't gotta. You can do whatever you want, but it's nice to live in the moment. Oh, that's a good level of raptor, actually. 34 is just about my level. I'm 35. He resisted the taunt, so I'm probably gonna rip off this thing. Yeah. You want to get it back? Here, you take it. I'll, yeah, you're fine. I like wonder. I like auto-attacking. I think because I don't have to do it. I feel like I've cheated the system in some way. Because my character will be swinging her arm, doing the most, you know, DPSing while her dots tick down, and meanwhile I'm sat there gazing at the mob going, haha, I've orchestrated all of this and now I need not lift a finger. It's very satisfying to me. I think maybe that's why I tend towards dot classes. And it's also the thing I like so far about Classic Warrior. Mind you, Bopsy, my gnome warrior in Classic Hardcore, is only level 10. And I'm pretty proud of that. It took two warriors died before I got one to level 10. It's a different ball game than Warlock or Hunter or Priest. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it has that same kind of feeling of like you get yourself set up and then at a certain point you're auto-attacking. And yeah, sure, you could like have a swing timer and you could be dipping in and out and micro-stepping and trying to avoid their melees. I'm not doing that. I am pitting my stats against their stats and we find out who wins. And, you know, 10 times out of 10 so far, it's Bopsy. Yeah, it's pretty dramatic how different leveling is in retail. I haven't leveled an alt in retail lately. It's a bit of a different thing. Oh, let's do the spider. Let's do the spider. I got excited for a bit when I saw spiders out here because I thought maybe they might drop me that spider meat that I need, and the answer is nope, they drop something else. It is a lesser quality spider flesh. Got some Maruchan ramen noodles. It sounds like a nice hot meal. I've been doing ramen lately just because it's a very easy to make soup. I like adding veggies to it. I like adding frozen veggies and then maybe like an egg. And then I feel as though I've really done something. That one's giant. I've gone a bit away from where I was supposed to be doing laps around this big mountain killing trolls. Although, I bet you anything, I'm going to get all the witherbark tusks, and maybe the medicine pouches, and then it's going to turn out that the shadow hunter knives are exclusively, like, deep inside of hell, basically. And then we'll go, well, never mind. Problem solved. We call that gourmet ramen. Me, personally, I will do it as soup. Although if I take too long setting up my life before I sit down to eat it, the noodles will have absorbed a lot of the broth, and then it will be mostly just a puddle. Do I want to double pull that? I guess I'm doing it. I've committed. So, Raptor 1. And then attack the other one, taunt the other one, Raptor 2. And then taunt that one, and I'm going to try and finish off this one. Look at how much they chunk Hellgrave for. I'm going to rip off the other one. The dots will. Oh, they didn't. Wow. Okay, now I've ripped off him. But that's fine, because Hellgrave's down to 30% anyways. And then he can just consume shadows and heal himself right back up. I think that Warlock is the class that I enjoy juggling on most, like the multi-pulls. It stresses me out on a hunter, especially because my hunter doesn't really have a lot of dots beyond serpent stings, so it's not like I'm doing any more damage for having multiple mobs pulled. It's just a matter of like, well, this happened, and now I'm going to try and kill them both before they end me. Whereas on my Warlock, I can actually, like, you know, assuming that I have the mana to sustain it, and that I don't accidentally bite off more than I can chew, it's technically faster for me to do these AoE pulls. Because you can get more value out of your dots, especially out of Agony because it's so backloaded. Feels good. It's fine. Oh, I got 35 seconds before my AoE taunt though. I'm just going to let him keep that one, and I'm just going to finish this one on my own. I'm tanking this one. It's all good. I got 2,000 health and I'm here to use it. Classic Wrath Boomkin. Chonky damage. Feels great. Fun. Would you give up on eating if you could just take one pill, get all the calories and nutrients you need for the day, but also could not eat for fun? It's an interesting question that I used to think about a lot. I feel like I either read a fantasy or sci-fi novel, or I was daydreaming about one, or there was like an episode of a kid's show or something, where in this future, there was like a machine that would print you like a little cube that you would eat that would have all of your sustenance for the day. And I feel like in that story, the cube would have a flavor of whatever you wanted, but you wouldn't have like the actual like texture and experience of eating the thing. And at the time, I feel like that sounded very appealing. But I don't think I would do it because I think that if I were to shave off all of the parts of being human that I don't like, I'm not gonna like what I'm left with. I don't think that I can just kind of pick and choose a la carte the different parts of being a living human being that are good and not good, and then expect to still have the same satisfying or hopefully satisfying experience. He's just a leather worker. He doesn't mean any harm. Back it up. Soylent Green. I've heard that phrase a lot. I don't actually know what it is. But yeah, I think that even if eating is a chore and cooking is a chore and nutrition is a chore, and I get it wrong half the time, there's still some fundamental level of human satisfaction that I would be missing if I didn't have to feed myself. Or at least like eat, you know. I will say though that if you are ever in a point in your life where you need to eat and you're having a really hard time just mechanically doing it, nutritional shakes can be a real lifesaver. It's helped me now and again being able to do like protein shakes with vitamins and stuff whenever like you need to eat and it's just not happening. So here's the ogres. They do spawn around here. I think people were just kind of farming them. They're like 33-ish. It's a movie? Dystopian movie from the 60s about recycling bodies into food. Oh. I thought it was just like a soy-based protein shake. Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm all about compost, but I want there to be a few more steps between bodies and food. I need there to be a couple more degrees of separation. Did you resist a taunt, or do you just really not like me? Does he have a board? He has a board with a nail. That's violent. Well, that's okay. I got a tough noggin. You know what actually makes Classic not so slow to level? It's rested. If you only play, and mind you, I'm going to run out of rested today, and then I will carry on going, but if you only played hardcore when your character had rested, it would actually be like a somewhat reasonable amount of time investment. I want to poke around this cave. I want to go see if that's any good. I'm going to kind of raptor farm my way over there. You also would not have enough gold playing like that. You don't think? Maybe not. Maybe. One way to find out. My Warlock, anyways. I think it would also vary a bit by class. My Warlock certainly... I don't want to say she's like rich. I'm carrying around like 23 gold. It's something. It's not a crazy amount. But she doesn't really have a ton of expenses anymore. Like, I'm not saving up for amount. So, you know, it's okay if she doesn't make any more gold. What's your advice when recovering from something feels harder, like giving up compared to what it was like before recovery? It's a complicated question. I think I know what you're talking about. It's something that counselors and therapists might have some better insight on. I think sometimes it's really hard to see all of the positive benefits that are going to come down the road after recovery when they don't really sound that beneficial in your head right now. But you Yeah, I don't know if I'm qualified for that one. It sounds so trite to just say you just have to have faith. You just have to believe even if you can't see all the evidence of it right now. Sometimes something that helps me kind of figure out where my mental framing is, because the way I look at the world will change a lot over time based on a million factors, and sometimes being in the middle of something like that can affect it. And when you're in the middle of it, you don't really see that lens through which you're seeing everything. You're just kind of really deep in it, so it's hard to get perspective. So sometimes journaling and then reading past journal entries to kind of see what sort of things were important to you over time can kind of help give a little bit of perspective on how you're changing and growing as you recover. That might be helpful, but again, professionals are going to have better advice than me. Stopped playing for a while, found myself waiting for mobs to spawn. Has it gone better? It's certainly less also I need to be careful. This is a bit of a higher level zone. It's certainly quieted a little bit. And then the other thing is that one moment. That was poorly done. As you get higher in level, the zones thin out a lot because there will be people in your zones, but it will be not nearly as many of them. Have you been keeping up with the time waste time walking for the mount? I'd have to check. I think I must have done. Because I did this week, I did 5 time walking dungeons in a row for the box. I did it for the box. And it's a 37, that's a bit scary. I think we can do it. I think it's just a one mob at a time kind of thing. But I'd have to go back and double check my achievement to make sure that I actually got credit for it, because I wasn't looking at or paying attention to the buff at all, but it should have happened automatically. If I did them all back to back, which I did, I had the fill it and carry. It should be fine. I should be 2 of 5. But even if I miss a week, you can always get it done later. Punchuelis, thank you for the 20-month resub. Hazel, Kira, and Moose for the win. Thank you for the advice, means a lot. I'm rooting for you. I had a period of my life when I was young where I could not see any kind of future at all. I could not fathom how on earth I was going to grow up and become an adult and do anything. I didn't think it was going to happen. And if you showed that version of me like a video... Also, I gotta get out of here. These mobs are way too scary for me. Health pot. if you showed her a video of this, she would be very confused. But I hope that it would give her a little bit of hope that sometimes even if you can't see how it's going to work out, sometimes it just does anyways, and you don't need all the answers. I want to loot that. Some of these mobs are like 2 levels above me, which is a really scary place to be because they'll start like resisting your attacks and stuff. What pet are you working on? What pet am I working on? In retail? I got 2 new ones yesterday. I don't think I had picked another project just yet. I think I've got a couple of options for stuff I can work on. I want to see what kind of level those ogres are over in this camp here. But we just got to work our way there very carefully because double pulls of this stuff, especially with this disease up, can be really, really rough. There's probably a better way to get there, honestly. If I go maybe by the road? Let's make another hellstone. Let's make another hellstone. Working on my Eastern Kingdom dragon riding achieves. Regular flying from race to race seems so slow. Oh yeah, I bet. Got Thunder to Fury for transmog on retail. Long watch is over. Oh, congratulations. Alright, I'm gonna do this spider. Pull it back a little bit, because I don't want to get that raptor to pat into me. Watch my back. Had the most trouble with the Badlands races in Delwyn for sure. I've been kind of enjoying having just one goal in retail. I don't think I like goal juggling very much. It'll be nice. I'm kind of almost finished with a couple of different things. And I think it'll be nice sort of getting done with some stuff. This is a 37, so we're going to be a bit careful. Because it is... I find retail really fun, but I have to be working on just one thing at a time. It wears me out to, like, task switch in retail. And I get so distracted that I do it constantly. So I think that working on just my pet collection right now is doing me a lot of good. Even to the point of ignoring transmog. I do need to make sure I get my Vicious met before the season, just because that's a bit of a time-sensitive one. Yeah, those 37s truck. But 484 experience. Holy moly. Plus thick leather. Playing much retail. I've been going back and forth. I'm pretty much only playing retail on stream recently, but I've done a couple of streams. It was fun. So those guys are 36. Yeah, no. I can't quest over there. If anything, the ones in the middle are better for me. Those are more my level. I'm turning around. We're going home. I was reading your stream title. I wonder if you refresh the page if it's going to give you the current one. I think yesterday's stream title. Oh, thank you.
How generous.
I think yesterday's stream title was more about pet collecting. Yesterday was the Turtle Odyssey. And Stilton, my Lord Stanley. Lord Stanley Stilton. Yeah, I appreciate that. I should probably keep mine these superior ones. Now that I'm 35, I can use those. Yeah, I'll pop those on. If I run out, then I'll use the other ones, but I should buy more at some point. Okay, so we've established that we are not going that way just yet. I might go back and poke around, maybe not into the cave, but maybe around the cave, maybe into the cave a little bit. What if I just like set like 3 toes in? What's that? Oh, it's Fosrock. Okay, so we're not gonna fight him. He's not gonna fight me, and I'm not gonna fight him. And I'm just gonna not look at him. And then he's gonna not look at me. Started the Nesting Warrior quest in Wrath for the achievement, so chill and nice. 100% convinced dragon riding is a secret attempt to rehabilitate Sylvanas, instill a hatred of trees in the player base. You can take him. He's an elite. Oh, he's coming right this way. He's a 42 elite. He's got friends. He's got backup. He's got lackeys. Genuinely. Phoebos and Snort. Phoebos and Snort. I gotta get away from him before I accidentally like tab and dot him or something ridiculous like that. That would be a horrible way to die. The main thing I'm excited for from 36. Actually, I should check and see if there's anything new I get to train then that'll be very good. At 36, I get to just have another level and, you know, be able to get a little bit more weapon skill, be less resisted by the mobs around here. But what can I learn at 36? It's an even numbered level, which will be exciting. 36. 5 things. Firestone, Spellstone, Health Funnel, Life Tap, Shadow Bolt. I could probably skip all of that, to be honest. Those are all spells that I don't really use. It's nice to have a life tap on you, but it's not, I wouldn't call it vital to have the highest rank of it. It just kind of saves some time. And I'm not life tapping very much, because I'm not even spending my mana very much. I'm largely just wanding. Yeah, I don't think I need any of these. When is my... I get Agony rank 4 at 38. I definitely use that. It's gonna cost me a whole gold. What, do I look like I'm made of money? Hardcore has given us that fear we developed for the Reaver. I still have yet to make a hardcore add-ons list. It's one of those things that I should do. There's a screenshot of them floating around somewhere. Oh, I'm getting medium, heavy, and thick leather, though. Well, I guess just one piece of thick leather, but it sells for like 5 silver. It'll be good when I can eventually farm those raptors over here. Those will be a really good farm. That'll be decent gold. Spellbook add-on is Biss. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really good. It's called What's Training, I believe, or What Can I Train? One of those two. And indispensable. It's one of those things that does not get in your way. It just kind of shows you what you want to know when you want to know it. Beautiful. As annoying as it is to have to go all the way back to town and save up gold to buy individual spell ranks and upgrades, I actually really enjoy it in Classic because it gives me time to figure out, A, do I even want to train a thing? And then secondly, by the time I've read about the thing and figured out that I want to commit both the trip back to the trainer and the gold to get it, I have a decent idea of what it does and why I want it. You know, I've had the time to think about it by then. Whereas in retail, you just kind of get it automatically and then your button's changed or it's better or you have a new button and, you know, you either learn it or you don't. I feel like you end up with a better level of mastery over, admittedly, not very many buttons, but I like the investment in my abilities that I get in Classic from all of that friction that comes along with the spell trainer. What are your thoughts on why it's so hard to keep hunters alive in hardcore? Is it? I found warrior when I was playing it, just anecdotally. My warrior died way more easily than my hunter. Hunters, I think, sometimes people will get a little overambitious in terms of what they think their pets can do for them. And especially if you don't have really tight control over where your pet is physically in the world, you could very easily end up pulling extra things you're not prepared to fight just by virtue of your pet body pulling them if you're not 100% on top of where they're standing at all times. So I think that can get people into trouble. I want to skin that raptor. Normally when the taunt gets resisted more than once. My motto, and mind you, I could still, you know, mess this one up. But my motto is I shouldn't be fighting something if I'm not prepared to face tank it. It's nice if my pet tanks it, and I can certainly do more damage if my pet tanks it, but I shouldn't be in combat if I'm not prepared to face tank at least one of the mobs that I'm fighting on my hunter or on my warlock. So that means keeping my gear up to date. It means keeping my defense skill up to date. It means keeping some form of damage doing, whether that's wanding on my warlock or melee weapons in my hunter up to date. I think that if your pet's taunt gets resisted like 3 times in a row, that sucks. But you need to have a backup plan because that can happen. You can't, like, use your pet certainly, but I don't think that relying on it as a guarantee is a great way to get to level 60. want this way. This one. I think the most dangerous beast in all of hardcore is psychology. I am really unhappy that all classes got so many buttons to press in order to make the most damage. How do you feel about that? In retail? In hardcore? I don't really mind. I kind of like it because I really only try hard on one spec at a time in any given patch. I'll take one spec and I'll make a project out of it, and I'll think I want to do as best as I can on this, and I will read the guides and I'll practice, and I'll get a lot of fun and satisfaction out of using those buttons. And a lot of the buttons are typically utility. Most classes don't have too many that are part of like their standard rotation. It's just a matter of piecing them together in the right way. And then on all the other characters that I want to play, because I'm not trying to do cutting edge content on them or anything, and I'm just they're just living their lives farming things or, you know, messing around. On those characters, it's okay if I'm not doing the most damage. So I just use like 4 to 5 buttons and I hope for the best. I think it's okay. I wouldn't want it to be too simplified in the damage rotation. I don't mind if the damage is... I think 4 or 5 buttons is fine, though. Need to be more chill specs. BM Hunter, and that's the only class you can play. People keep saying that, and I feel like I don't understand where that comes from. I feel like that's not the chillest... I guess it depends on and again, on what level you're planning to play it to. But... I found that buff juggling on BM Hunter to maintain your frenzy stacks was way more annoying than, what is it, Frost DK, where you just kind of press your button? DK Smash? Some don't want to use hotkeys, a 10-action mouse. I think that's fair. I think it's a valid point of view. It's just not going to be... It's just... a bit... What am I trying to say? I think there should be more specs that are set up like that, but because I feel like having a lot of keybinds and a lot of different things you can do is very central to the MMO, and there's so many action games and RPGs that have far fewer buttons that don't need the 12-button mouse, and you know they call the 12, 17-button mice, they call them MMO mice because they're, I don't know, I guess I'm just partial to it because I like it this way. And I don't think everybody should have to in order to play WoW, but I think that you can certainly set up and spec a lot of classes in a way that doesn't need that many keybinds and doesn't need that many. You won't be able to also do the most possible damage, necessarily. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit over my head. I keep calling Frost DK. I keep hearing Frost DK called the garage door opener spec. That's funny. I would be very upset if I can't play my Frost DK through a breathing tube anymore. Prefer to have more damage from auto attack, 2 boost buttons or something. Isn't there a spec of Demon Hunter that's a bit like that? I don't know. It's not the optimal spec, certainly, but I think there's a Demon Hunter spec that you can set up that makes it more or less just like a lot of, yeah. Everyone plays their own way, shouldn't be judged for how they do. Certainly, of course. I don't think anyone should be judged for wanting a spec to be one way or another. Where you end up with contention and controversies where people want specs to be either bulked up or stripped down in order to suit their preferences. I think it's good if there's options for everybody, but because a fewer button spec could be considered to be easier, it's going to be controversial if that's higher performing than the specs that are more challenging to play, because there won't be as much incentive for people to play those challenging specs anymore. I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong answer to that conundrum. It's just that's where that controversy comes from, is that there are going to be downsides to designing for one pool or the other. I want my sparkly star one. Yeah. Play hardcore. Or classic. It doesn't have to be hardcore. I just really like hardcore. Is that iron? Is that for me? Is that iron node for me? Watch somebody like climb out over the back of the thing and just start mining it. Ha 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 ha. Don't find it challenging, just a lot of work. That's fair. That's reasonable. I think if it feels like work, though, if the game feels like work, then maybe it's maybe it's not. There might be something that's more fun for you. I don't know. Life's too short to spend time on things that spend leisure time on things that feel like work. I think that Blizzard's always going to kind of have their work cut out for them because there's so many different people that play and love WoW. They're never going to be able to design it for all of them. They're doing their best, I think, to give options for different people. And like lots of different valid ways to play the game. You guys talking about healing and healer keybinds kind of makes me miss healing. I'm excited for next season. I'm gonna be a holy priest. I'm gonna be a gnome. I'm gonna wear cute transmogs. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna save the day. Plus do some damage. I'll plus some holy fire. You know, a little chastise. My little angry Naru is gonna do some angry Naru things. It'll be great. Oh, I see. So that's the Alliance pad on the road, so there must be a Horde one as well. I like this spot. I kind of want to go into the cave. Maybe at 36 I can go into the cave. DH probably the least keybinds I have in any character. Maybe I should make a challenge of, or not a challenge, but just a point of, on some of my alts that I play where I'm really just like farming transmog on them, unbinding a lot of stuff that I don't use just to kind of clean up their bars and simplify things a little bit. Either unspecking or unbinding or both. You know, go through and instead of just using the starter build spec, like go through and make the Hazel build spec, which is the least possible amount of buttons. Make it as simple and brain dead as possible because all they're doing is running old raids or like killing Karakta or whatever, you know. I'm not doing keys or raiding on any of these characters, and it might be nice to have like a really smooth, simple UI for them. Make it like a vehicle bar. Get that anxiety when I bring up the spellbook, see the halo icon around something. Add the buttons again. Oh, I thought that was a mining node. It's not. I hope maybe there's mining nodes inside. I feel like on Classic I've ended up with a very similar amount of keybinds, honestly. Some of them are consumables. I guess I do have a few more in retail. But these bars do not look dramatically different from my retail ones, I don't think. Not at this level anyways. At earlier levels, certainly. Although I have keybound all of Hellgrave's abilities. Gotta have something to do. You can also get optimized farming old content talents. I want optimized Hazel's brain feels better talents. Hey Ben, how you doing? Hi. We were discussing the benefits of higher versus lower amounts of keybinds needed for WoW specs. Doing fantastico. Excellent. I am doing pretty good. I got a cold. Don't get me wrong, I'm sick, but I'm living it up as best as you can while sick. I got tea, I got sweaters, I got pillows. I got a puppy dog, he's really cute. Shaman main, too many keybinds. Good morning, happy hardcore adventures. Good morning. Oh, I've upset this ogre deeply. Got the avatar talent. Odin's just the same thing with different cooldowns. I'm getting reputation with the Wildhammer clan? This is news to me. I didn't know that was a thing. Will I get anything cool? What's my Wildhammer reputation? I don't think I've really worried about rep at all in Classic so far. Oh yeah, I'm 175 into neutral. Could I get anything cool? think the new boomkin animations came from those ogres that you're fighting. Oh. Seeing trolls in games makes me miss being a troll. Makes me kind of want to be a troll. I have horde characters on retail, but I end up not. Even though it's basically, there's really no difference for my alts. Yeah, I guess I play them as much as any other alt. There's rumors that the new Moonkin rig animations would make player ogres possible. I always kind of figured that they wouldn't be in a hurry to add playable ogres because as much as people say they want them, I feel like the amount of people that will actually play them is a little bit lower. But then it occurred to me, does it matter whether or not people play them? I think what matters is whether or not people get hyped when they read the article and whether or not reading the article about playable ogres makes them think about coming back and playing WoW again. I think the actual amount of people that run around as ogres is kind of immaterial. I don't think it's really relevant. Certainly not that many people run around as mechanomes, and they're still there. They didn't delete them. It's been 20 years. I think we can safely say they have not been in a hurry. True. Main hand Agi Stam Mace. Interesting. Oh, I need to do that troll too. I am 2 of 10 Witherbark Tusks. I am working on this quest very, very, very slowly. I'm all out of rested. Wah, wah. Nah, ogres are big in demand. Part of Warcraft lore forever, huge personality. Can't argue with you there. Or at least I'm gonna go. I'm making my way into the inner ring. We've done the outer lap. We're spiraling inwards. We're circling the whirlpool. Dakota, thank you very much for the 43-month resub. Holy moly, that's a long time. What would ogre racials be? Feel like they would have, you know how Kultirans have Haymaker, they've got like a stun. I feel like ogres would need some kind of like a in-cap disorient kind of a, you could call it bonk. They bonk somebody to either, you know, do a short stun or like an in-cap to them. In-cap might be kind of cool. Not as useful as stun, but maybe a stun, I don't know. They would do, what would be kind of neat? Am I going in? Would Melbonk, exactly. Traditionally, ogre casters have 2 heads and are essentially 2 people. You can customize each head. Or do you think that they would want to do it the way they did in Heroes of the Storm, where you have actually 2 players playing each head? Is that what they did in HOTS? I could have sworn there was like a 2, like Cho'Gall maybe was playable by, like 1 hero by 2 players that were working together on the same thing. I don't think they would ever do that in WoW. Disorients for 20 seconds because debuff for 5 minutes. All food makes you ill. Should be able to do a multicast on skills. Yeah, the idea I had was something that affects their buff duration. But if you had a racial that made all buffs last longer, even if it's just like 3 seconds longer, holy moly, that would be so overpowered. That would be way too much. Yeah, maybe this is my cave. They're 33. There's iron in here. If I can do laps around this cave and not get overwhelmed, which is kind of a big if. I think I could take a double pull somewhat safely. Only one head is smart enough to cast in lore. I need the iron. I need it. It's still pretty valuable. Yeah, a couple silver per. It's not too bad. Hellgrave's got the health for this. He doesn't need me. There's a rare that spawns back there, but I wonder, sometimes rares are like great, you know, they drop good stuff. They're not too much harder than the other mobs around them. Everyone lives happily ever after, and sometimes they're like elites and they're higher level and they're awful. Sometimes they're really dangerous. But so far, I like this cave. I could probably stay here for a while, assuming that I can stay here safely. Usually what happens is I'll farm a place for a while and I'll be like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm getting pretty good experience out of this. And then I'll have like a near-death experience and I'll be like, nope, 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 never mind, never mind, never mind. Run away! And then I just go timidly farm like raptors in the surrounding area for like 4 hours. Old repeated click annoyed sound clips from ogres are great. Alright, here's a question. Are ogres unicorns? They have one horn on their head that points upwards like a unicorn horn. Rainbow ogres. $1 million idea. Chunky unicorns. So these guys, Fist of Stone gives the caster additional damage per hit but reduces their movement speed and increases the time between their attacks, which I think is fine. And they also have Disorienting Shout, which reduces melee and ranged attack power, but doesn't reduce spell damage, or wand damage, I think. So, and Hellgrave wasn't really doing that much damage anyway. Oh, there's more iron. This is my spot. This is where Covork spawns also. If he spawns on me and he wins, then he deserves it. Glass cup, wine cup with red wine in it, offhand transplant. Yeah, you can buy some in Dalaran, I think. I wish I saw my offhands more often. Ogres don't have rainbows shooting at their backside. But if they give us playable ogres, we can use them with the prismatic bauble. Apparently I found the hill that I'll die on. Where does a rogue put their hand where they pickpocket them? Belly button. That's where the ogre keeps their wallet. Always in the belly button. Ooh, I got a witherbark medicine pouch. I need that. And a tusk. That was a good mob. I'm gonna finish this quest one day. You just you wait. Just you wait and see. By that definition, rhinos are unicorns. I will also agree with that. I will concede rhinoceros, unicorn. Narwhals, unicorns. Beetles, unicorns. He's so slow. He buffed himself to be that slow. Time for important questions. What do you name your first ogre character? Bonko. I have to reserve it, just in case. You guys can't take Bonko from me. Our level's coming along. Look at all this experience. We're 72% of our way through 35. I'm happy with that. What's down here? Maybe more trolls. Yeah. Consider Bonko officially off limits. I'm sure somebody already has Bonko. It's got to be a gnome warrior out there somewhere, bonkoing away. I want centaurs or playable race. Yeah, me too. I want dryads. I want to be able to make a centaur or a dryad. I want to be Tarandrella. They could be druids. They could be hunters. They could be warriors. They don't have to wear pants. Just add a bunch of pantsless races. Add dryads, add naga, add centaur. Add murlocs, because let's face it, pants and frog legs are gonna be kind of funny. Druid murloc. Lots of silk cloth in here. That's something. I'm chilly. I'm cold. Later, go back to bed, be burrito. Wrap up. Actually, I need to do a bunch of laundry. I need to wash all the bedding. Sometimes that makes me feel better when I'm like on the upswing from a cold, is just to wash all the sheets and like the duvet cover, really vacuum the, I don't know, carpet and the curtains and everything. Sometimes you gotta ping down your own totems. If they ever add Murloc, especially Demon Hunter Murlocs, I would switch to Horde. I would even switch to Horde. I don't think they could add any race that's gonna tempt me into re-rolling on account of race again. I'm a gnome, and that's who I am. I've rediscovered it. I've remembered. I'm returning to my roots. I'm a gnome. I love gnomes. I make a lot of gnomes. I need a gnome of every type of gnome. I do need a gnome of every type of gnome. I have a gnome warrior, I have a gnome rogue, and I have a gnome warlock, and I have a gnome priest already. So I need what? A mage? A hunter. They let gnomes be hunters. I'm thinking retail. I need a mage, I need a hunter. Oh, good excuse for another hunter. What if leper gnomes join the horde? No Saturday news video today. I was, I've got a bit of a cold, so I took a sick day yesterday instead of making one. I think I'm most likely going to just skip it this week and then catch up next week. You do need a mage in either case, might as well make it a no. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about what sort of mage I wanted to make, because I figured, well, good opportunity to get through some other races. But then why do I need other races? I need more gnomes. You know, commit to who you are. Ooh, I got some gloves I might be able to sell. Very nice, very nice. Night sky gloves. Stam int. Am I wearing them? I'm wearing them! I got the same gloves that I'm currently wearing. That's funny. Those should be pretty valuable then, because it's hard to upgrade those, I've found. They require level 29 and I'm 35 now, and every time I go to look for better gloves, I can't find anything that has like substantially more stamina. Like maybe one more stam, but I'm gonna need more than that to pay for a whole glove upgrade. Mm. Do you think in the next expansion they'll create a new race? And if so, what would that be? I don't know. What race would they add for another expansion? I guess I'm assuming they're not going to do any new races or classes. I don't know why I think that, though. It's an easy way to win points. I really hope they do another stab at player housing. Wetlands crocodiles. Technically, you need one of every race, too. Needs a strong word. So is technically. Don't they'll add a new race so soon after. Yeah, they've done Drakthir and Evokers as one. Mildly scary pull. That witch doctor. If Helgrave had gotten any lower, I would be sacking him and resummoning him right now. My boy's at 20%. I can sack him for a 1000 damage absorbing shield. And then I can resummon him quite quickly, assuming I have the mana for it with Fel Domination. I've spec'd into that, so we're in good shape there at least. Tuskar would be great. Happy long weekend for all you connects out there. Happy long weekend. Hope Ogvokers are a stepping stone in that direction. I'm interested to see or hear, I guess I don't know if they'll ever tell us, but I'd be curious to see the data that Blizzard has for like this season and next season for how Ogvokers, I want to know how popular they are after the new shiny toy freshness has worn off. I want to know how many people are actually like genuinely super into it after it's not like the cool new thing to do anymore. I understand that they're good, but I wonder if they're popular. If anything, the impression that I got from the people that I know is that they're popular among other... Yeah, those totems suck. They're popular among people that have an Ogvoker in their group. But I don't know that many people, so I have a very limited view. Need an inventor class that uses machines. Yeah, I could add them. I agree. I could see them opening up race class combos even more. Are they good enough to break out of the niche market? Yeah. And I mean, they're good. And I think they'll continue to be good. The question is whether that equates them to being fun or whether they're fun in their own right. I think what makes a class fun to play is a surprisingly difficult thing to pin down that probably takes from a lot of factors and is different for different people. Yeah, well. They'll either do more or they won't. We'll find out. I'm just going to be a gnome holy priest and I'm going to heal people with glitter. I wonder what's in that iron lockbox. I'm going to have to get Flabby to open that later. Find him in Ironforge or something. Mechanome Druid's Wed. I'm excited for BlizzCon. We're what, a month away? 1 month until BlizzCon? That's not that long. It'll be here before you know it. I'm going to wear my Murloc onesie. I'm going to be Toasty Worm. I'm going to have some tea and they're going to tell me things and I'm going to go, yes. Or no, but you know. It's not very polite to boo. Find Og easy but boring to play. Removing no priest, no! Alright, double. Yeah, we can do doubles. We're fine. We've always been fine. There's another note up there. It's an iron deposit. Yeah, these witch doctor double pulls are gross because the totems. I think I need to focus down the caster next time. Because they die pretty fast. Or I need to Curse of Tongues them so that they take way longer to set up their totems. That's also an option. Well, Gnome Holy Priest, but with an Edgelord DK name. But I'm Inksy. I'm Inksy the Holy Priest. Oh, there's the iron. So if these are like 34s, I could probably stay in this cave for a couple of levels. Just mine iron. There must be chest spawns in here. I haven't seen any. There must be chest spawns. There's always chest spawns in caves. I gotta open up my eyes a little more. Cultier and Paladins would make sense. Mining 156. We can finally mine gold. If any gold spawns, we can finally mine it. That's going to be fun. I don't even think gold ore is that valuable. Maybe it is. Maybe it's valuable for like leveling up mining. If I was a treasure chest, where would I be? Her name is Inksy and she's an scribe. I know, right? I wonder what profession she's going to do next expansion. I really want to hear what they're planning to do with professions next expansion. And I think that will inform whether I stay enchanting tailoring, whether I drop it for herb alch or drop like one for herb alch. I don't know. Hiding in a corner? Yeah, you'd think. I thought I was looking in all the corners. I usually have chest vision. Usually to my detriment. Crossing all fingers and toes, profession, progression, it's BOA. Made more gold than in all years since vanilla. Yeah, same, honestly. I've made decent gold in some expansions, but it had nothing on Dragonflight. Plus, it was so fun. It was so engaging. I was so invested in getting every extra like bit of multi-craft or resourcefulness or Craft Sim really made it fun for me. I think without Craft Sim, I wouldn't have had nearly as good of a time. But having an add-on decode exactly how profitable all of those stats were for me, it made the whole thing so much more fun. So we are up to 79%. I wonder if I should do some math and figure out how many more ogres would I need to get to level 36? Maybe I shouldn't count. Counting might be not for the best. I'd want a raccoon form just because. I'd be down for them adding like a ton more travel forms. If mages can polymorph people and all sorts of stuff, you know. I think that travel form would be a really great place to add just a ton of different cosmetic forms. You could honestly add all of the soul shape forms, just unblue them if that's an easy thing to do. And then make them all travel form and I'd be happy. Sell a bajillion glyphs or just put them in, not even glyphs, just put them in the barbershop. Oh, I should have healed up Hellgrave. Sorry, buddy. I'll ping the totems down for you. Although they should be slower to spawn this time. I don't have any interrupts. The most I can do is Curse of Tongues. I'm gonna finish that quest one day. Otter travel form. Otter could also be an aquatic form. Although, didn't they make a travel form count for also? It's like all of them now. It's like flying and swimming and running, based on context. My flight form's the Gilnean style read. I should take a break soon. I miss my puppy. I think I'll pet the dog. I was brushing him this morning. Oh, this is a bit of a dense spot. I gotta be careful here. Also, especially because my boy is pretty out of mana. Come back! I don't know who I was tap targeting, but not the one I wanted. I wonder if the witch doctor ran away. Didn't die. Yeah, we're in combat still. I don't think that... Oh no, it's dead. It's right here. We're okay. This is only mildly sketchy. If you wanted to be manipulative, you could have a tip jar for pet the dog. People pay you to pet Moose. Oh man. It would be the buy Moose a big yard jar. we get 1 million tips, 1 million dog pets, and then he can have a nice big piece of land. Oh, Miss Kira's taking a nap on her favorite chair right now. I want there to be treasure chests in here. There must be somewhere. It's also hard to take a break when you're in a cave. But my Hearthstone takes me all the way back to Ironforge. And it's not that I couldn't get back here from Ironforge, but it's a little bit of a project. Buy Moose a toy. Oh, Moosey has toys. Moosey was fishing his toys out of his bin this morning and bringing them to me. It was so cute. I was eating breakfast and he just comes up with this platypus like, Mom. Mom, play. Mom, I brought it right to you. I think I am going to take a break, though. I'm going to head back to Ironforge for the moment. I can probably clean up my bags a bit. I've only got 15 bag slots left, but take a short break, and then I will come back and we'll look into a little bit more leveling, because I only have 3.5 bars left, so we can probably get to 36 today, assuming nothing happens. BRB. Pardon me. I needed to make a pot of tea. It was important. But we can steep it here, and then I brought the thing to take the tea out, so I don't have to pick it up again. Okie dokie. This is a tea cozy. It's like a sweater for the teapot. Huh. Duckies keep it warm. I should set a timer. It's just like an herbal citrus ginger tea that I got at the farmer's market that was serenaded by a heart chakra singing bowl. It wasn't like a big selling point for me, but I wasn't against it. And, but it's like a really yummy herbal one. And sometimes you just want endless hot cups of tea. So 5 minutes on that. Bag-wise, how are we doing? We're looking pretty good. I'm going to do an auction house scan and see what kind of stuff I want to sell. If I want to smelt that ore before I sell it. Let's get some up-to-date numbers. Went to the farmer's market a couple months ago. Not recently. I went in this summer. I think I just went once or twice this summer. Maybe just the one time. I think I went the one time and it was so crazy busy that it kind of freaked me out and I didn't go back. But I restocked my tea. I got a pair of earrings. I got like a painting. I made it pretty good. Okay, we're gonna do an auction scan here. Oh man, cute little tea cozy. Thank you. I got it at Merchies. It's got the duckies on it. I remember I told chat once about how I went to the store and I thought that the ducks were really cute, so I got a tea cozy with ducks on it. And I'm sure everybody meant well. People will go, oh, you should get one with this on it. What about this thing? It would be really cute if it was this. Why not squirrels? And I was like, but I got the duckies. What's wrong with the duckies? I already have one. I only need one. Leave the duckies alone. Nobody was bullying the ducks. I think we were just excited about tea cozies, but I took it entirely the wrong way. I'm posting. Let me see. So we're looking at iron is profitable to smelt. People are more likely to want the bars than the regular ore, so I will smelt that. Is it really worth it for 43 copper per? I can get 43 copper from... No, it's not worth it. I'm not running all the way up to the forge for 5 silver. Am I? No, I'm not. We're gonna post it up. So, hammer. 1 gold 50? What about 1 gold? 8 hours. And then hatchet. 65? Yeah, I'm good with that. Nice sky gloves. Sure. And then, oh, I need to sell these greater healing pots and I need to buy superior ones because there's really no sense in me carrying around lesser healing potions now that I can use the superior ones. 264, that's just vendor trash. The leather, decent. Yeah, that's fine. $8 silver per for heavy stone. Heavy stone is more valuable than the ore that you mine. That's bananas. That is Gwen Stefani bananas. Spider silk doing decently well still. Buzzard wing, I think I can actually cook. I think I have a recipe for like a hot buzzard wing. Yeah, barbecued buzzard wing. Although, I have enough jungle stew. I don't really need it. Is anyone gonna buy that? I don't know. Heavy leather, certainly. Thick leather. Certainly. Almost 7 silver per for that stuff. And then silk cloth. Am I even leveling tailoring on my other character? Not really. But if I can get over 2 silver for it, I'll just sell it. Because I don't need it anymore for first aid in this character. Cool. Okay. So that looks good. We got a few things to vendor. For a while I was cooking the raptor eggs before I sold them, but now I can't be bothered. I'm just gonna go clear out some space. Oh, the superior healing pots. That's right. That's right. Stone used for blasting powder. It's an engineering thing that you need to both, I think, level engineering and also to make like dynamite and whatever. That's why it's so valuable in hardcore. Dynamite's like a super good emergency consumable. And you don't even have to be an engineer to use it. I'm just too cheap to buy it. Shopping. Superior healing potion. Healing potion. I'm so flurmed today. 5 silver per worth. Gotta carry those around. I don't have a no smelting policy. I just have a... I don't know. I smell... You smell? They smell. Do you take the bar and you go drip, 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 drip? Yeah. Can I be bothered to smelt it right now? Yeah. It's funny because in Iron Forge, it's literally the biggest forge. You know exactly where it is. It's in the middle. Sometimes can't be bothered. Alright. So that's my tea timer, which means that I can pour a nice cup of tea while we're flying back to the Arathi Highlands. I'm getting to 36 today. It's going to happen. I should be aware, though, that my Hearthstone's going to be on cooldown for another hour. Well, 48 minutes. So I need to make sure that I don't get myself into anything that I'm not prepared to walk out of in the next 48 minutes. Tea. Man. I got these like fancy clear mugs when I first moved here, and I thought they were too modern for me, but then I discovered that for herbal teas, I really like seeing the color of the tea in the cup. You know, it's not as comforting as a ceramic, but, you know, I feel kind of cool. Yeah, I agree. I think the whole city should be a forge. I think you should be able to smelt from anywhere. One thing I'm foreseeing being a bit of a trouble. I kind of want to pick up these quests. I don't know how to get down there, though. And if I do get down there, I don't know how to get back. McCreel's Moonshine. Take it to... So, they're just delivering stuff. We won't worry about it. Thing I'm worried about is this Shadow Hunter knife. That I'm pretty sure... The medicine pouches and the tusks are dropping in here. I have a feeling that the knives are going to be not only... out here, but like exclusively deep in the cave. I just need one, but like, oof. I think it's like in the back of the cave, which is brutal. I don't think I'm actually gonna get that quest done. Oh, dear me. Because that is a place where people die. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Hazel. Hello. I died there. Yeah, it's scary. He's good. Good evening, Hazel and everyone. Good evening. That's nice and hot. This used to be how I would warm my hands at my desk when I'd get the cold fingers in the winters. I would just have endless cups of tea and I would just do this. Hi, kitty cat. You want to come up here? I can eject the pillow. You want to come see? You want to come sit? Hi, I missed you. Shall I brush you today? Would you like that? We're brushing her more regularly because she's been having some extra hairballs. So I figure I can keep you nice and groomed, and that'll help a little bit, huh? Hi. And say hi to kitty cat. And say hi to your public. Kitty's a veteran streamer cat. She's been in the business. Hi, Kitty. The bigger Moose gets, the smaller she looks. I see her just walking down the hall, and I go, "You look teeny tinier every single day just because the dog gets bigger every day." And by comparison, she looks smaller than ever. And you're not smaller. You're just the same size as you've always been. You know, you're maybe a tiny bit small for a cat, but not mini. You know, you're like a cat. But he's gonna be a big dog. Certainly, he's not gonna be a medium dog. Lean is good. Yeah, it's tough for her to stay in good shape because she is indoor only and she's also blind. So she doesn't get anywhere in a big hurry because she's liable to run into things if she starts to sprint. But she does all right. She is... How old are you now? 9? You're 9 years old? You're not that old. All right, we're back. We never left. Helgrim's coming back. I'm going to re-food buff, and I think I'm just going back in my cave. I think I liked my cave. It was a little scary in there, but... Man, I really wish there had been more, there had been, like, treasures in there. You'd think that there should be. But it is, it was a good spot for iron, certainly. Suggestions for getting a dog to stop licking the carpet. Loves giving herself the fuzzy version of hairballs and coughs. Oh, man. It's tough. With my understanding as a puppy parent is that with dogs you have two options for getting them to stop doing something. The first option is training, and the second option is management, and it's usually a combination of both. So training would be to train them an incompatible behavior, such as go to your spot or do anything in which they cannot currently lick the carpet, and just try to interrupt them every time they're licking by getting them to do the other thing, and reinforcing it with like really good treats. The danger being that they learn that they lick the carpet and then get to do the thing and get the treat, but you know, take that as it comes. And then management being putting something else over the rug and or removing the rug. Because, yeah, or, I don't know, vacuuming the rug super often so that there's less fibers to come up off of it. But, yeah, no, it's tough. Figure out what it is that they're getting out of licking the carpet to see if you can either provide them that joy elsewhere or remove that joy from the carpet. Many websites, vet opinions, do you predict you'll be over 100 pounds? It's really hard to say. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know what I predict. Oh, sorry, kitty cat. I think I predict that he will be at minimum 70. I would be very surprised if he stops growing before 70 pounds. 100 pounds is a big dog, though. That's a lot of dog. Carpet throughout my townhouse. I see. Yeah, if it's the whole floor, that is tough. Dogs are so goofy. I'm sorry I don't have more specific health. My puppy, while teething, has gnawed some fashionable distress marks on the legs of various pieces of furniture. And I try to replace it with a chew toy for him whenever I catch him doing it, and I'll even hold out the chew toy, and he'll chew on that instead, but I definitely still have furniture that has been beavered by my puppy. I am very far from perfect. Hi, kitty. You happy? She's purring. Are you working for the Raptors? Only 3.5 bars left until our level. That'll be good. The trouble with the Ogre Cave is that it's not a skinning grind. I feel like I'm making like 80 copper per medium leather. I'm making a little under 2 silver per heavy leather. If I can start getting thick leather, that's good stuff. But that's from like the 36, 37 Raptors. How's it going, Hazel and Chat? Good weekend so far? Hello. It's going all right. I'm having a little bit of a sick day weekend. So we've got some tea, we've got some classic WoW. We're taking it nice and easy. That's a cool pet. Carrion bird. I don't think they're skinning, so I'm gonna pick it up. Cozy stream. Oh. We have made it to Arathi. I am 3.5 bars away from being a venerable level 36 Warlock. All of the other gnomes will, I'd say, respect me, but it's not really necessary. Would it interest you to hear that I received my new vacuum? I am now a corded canister vacuum girly, as they say. I'm getting used to it, but it does seem to do a good job. It's definitely not as convenient as just picking up the stick vac and going, but I think it should be a better long-term solution. Yes, the Mila. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm. Mila girly. Mila girl. That's me. Can it do a backflip? Yes. Will it? No. I hope it sucks. So far, seems like it sucks. I'm mostly excited that the canister on it, like the place where the dust and the hair accumulates, is so much bigger than my last vacuum that I can reasonably empty it like once per vacuum and not like 7 times per vacuum. That's kind of nice. I know that the bagged models are more hygienic, but there's just so much pet hair. And it's only 1 dog and 1 cat, but there's so much pet hair going on that I would go through bags like nobody's business. So I feel better about the canister. It's nice being able to only empty it once. Highest tier adulting. Ins, outs, pros, cons of vacuum cleaners. I spent a good afternoon in the vacuum cleaner review and comparison rabbit hole, and I just about drove myself nuts. But I like having clean floors, and honestly, I actually got some things cleaned that I hadn't cleaned with my other ones, so I'm pretty happy. The crevice tool does a really good job on the baseboards, and I had some dust that had accumulated that I didn't realize that I managed to get rid of, plus some cobwebs. It doesn't do as good of a job on the rugs. The other one had a motorized beater bar, and this one does not. I could purchase an extra accessory, but it's an extra 179 Canadian dollars, which is bananas. So I'm probably not going to do that at the moment, especially not for just a couple of area rugs. It does okay on them, but it does really good on the hard floor, which is, this place is mostly hard floor, and then I just have a couple of rugs on top of it. Is that how you say it? That is the coaching that I received from our resident Germans in chat. But I could be still mispronouncing it. Not how marketing works, but if you wanted to post a pic to your IG store, I would watch it. It's right there. I can't get up and show you though. I got a cat on my lap. Ready to roll up my sleeves, go deep rabbit hole in the latest in vacuum cleaner developments. The danger with getting too deep into reviews for anything is that any product under the sun is going to have one or two people that have left reviews about how this thing melted down, broke, started a fire, stole their husband, you know, turned their children into unicorns and like ruined their life. It doesn't matter what you're reading reviews for. Somebody will have had a horrible experience with any of the products, and that review will always make you second guess getting it. You just have to at some point put it down to, well, most people really like this thing, and the outliers could either be A, just a random chance, or B, sometimes people don't know how to operate things very well, so they'll have a poor, you know, they won't do very well with it because they like didn't read the manual and adjust it correctly or whatever, and then they go and complain about how it didn't work when they didn't do it right. It's also not an option. Every product has killed a pet of someone. This vacuum sold drugs to my kids, right? Or they didn't like the color. Or maybe they really liked the color. There was one review of somebody that was like, well, this vacuum, it does really good in this. It doesn't really do this thing that well, but oh my god, it's my favorite color, so I'm in love. And honestly, I can appreciate that. People cannot be trusted. Can vacuums be trusted? I just love the feeling after you vacuumed when you look over your house and you're like, man, it's nice in here. I love that just cleaned feeling when you're looking around being like, I look like a grown-up. I want to sit down and have a cup of tea and read a magazine. I'd like to enjoy a beverage on my couch and page through a catalog right about now. I read a review for an air freshener about how she got her husband back with magic potions. Highly unexpected. Iron deposit. I need it. I need it. I'm a bit greedy when it comes to mining nodes in this game. Particularly using not reapplying Emily. If it's already ticked down once, at that point I'm going to finish the mob off. It wouldn't really live long enough to get the benefit out of casting it again. My wand can typically finish off, plus the end of the agony. Agony's pretty backloaded. What cleaner do you use for pet accidents? Nature's Miracle. Enzyme based. I'm sure there are other products in the market that do the same thing, but the idea is that the enzymes will actually eat the active components in the pet waste that would make it smell like they want to do it again, supposedly. I don't know. But I use that. It's also, annoyingly enough, really heavily perfumed. It still smells like Nature's Miracle long after the thing. I mean, maybe that's part of how it works, but yeah, I use Nature's Miracle. Although I haven't had, I mean, knock on wood. I've heard sometimes puppies will regress when they reach their teenage months and they'll start having accidents inside again. So it's a possibility that I'm ready for. I have the enzyme cleaner at the ready, but Mr. Moose hasn't had any inside accidents in quite a while. We're proud of him. I used to post overly excited reviews and mundane items on Amazon. He's got some detailed, extraordinary reviews. I am on Skullrock. The horror is the amount of airborne fur and dander waiting to land right back on the clean surfaces. Yeah, dust reaccumulates really fast for me. I've come to accept that I'm never going to be 100% on top of it, but I always feel better when I've made an effort. I also have air purifiers. I got them to deal with wildfire smoke, but they also do a half-decent job of cleaning pet dander out of the air. Especially if you leave them on. You know, it's electricity, but what do you do? I love my puppy. He's my boo-boo. He's such a big baby. He's such a big, sweet, lovey baby. Oh my gosh. He gets really sleepy. And I'll go lay down in his bed with him, and he'll like snuggle and flop over, and he'll just be like, "Mom," and I'll give him the big scritches behind the ears, and he's got the best fur in his neck. He's got like this big shaggy neck with like a bunch of extra sort of scruff skin, and it's like really thick and fluffy, and you really get your fingers and your nails in there, and he's just, oh, I love puppy. I'm so happy I got a dog. And there was an argument to be made for waiting a couple of years until I had a bigger property, but I figure I have hikes, I have dog parks, I have walks. I don't know how many years I will live on this earth. Hopefully a lot more. Nothing to indicate that it won't be a lot more, but I would like to live my life now, and I would like my life to include a dog if possible. You're happy about it. One dog has the same kind of neck till I start petting it too much. Hair just goes everywhere. I thought it was funny that I was reading the vacuum instruction and caution manual, and it said, please do not vacuum animals directly. Also, do not vacuum at head height, and make sure you do not vacuum anybody in the head. It had caution specifically telling people not to vacuum heads. Oh, he's a rare. 36. Not an elite, only in rages. You know what? Go for it. We're going to take out the witch doctor first. And I'm actually shadow bolting this time. Ha ha ha. He's enraged now. Helgrave's got a pretty good grip on him though. Excellent. The reason I committed to that instead of finishing my food buff, I got a Conjurer's Vest of Spirit, was because I didn't want something to respawn on me in mid-pull, and I figured the sooner I pulled it, the longer I had before the respawns came in. Would you want to know how many years you have left, if possible? No. No, that would ruin me. One of our cats has a fluffy, scruffy neck. Will start to drool when you scritch there. Now or never. Oh, man. I am... I will be recovered soon, but I am not today. I am not with it today. Oh, boy. Saw the quest item, almost thought, oh, geez, Traveler's Backpack. Then I would be rich. You can sell those things for a good chunk. Hellgrave, I always knew you could do it. I knew you had it in you. There's a witch doctor on the side, and we do have it. So we're gonna do that one first. I don't have that much mana, so this is kind of an ill-advised Shadow Bolt. I'm gonna tank this thing. Hellgrave has lots of health left, at least. I used to try to vacuum my dog. Kind of went into a murderous rage whenever the vacuum was on after that. Yeah, I could see that. Waiting to try the Dremel rotary tool to trim up claws of my dog since she hates the clippers. Yeah, I've heard people have success with that. I could see how it could be scary for a dog, but I bet you if you take it really slow and you like really strongly incentivize every step of the way, that they could learn how to chill with that. Mr. Moosey and I have been doing okay with the nail trimming. I do 1 or 2 nails at a time. I do them when he's really sleepy. And I've also been training him to do a relax command where he just lays on his side, and then I touch his paws and then I feed him yummies. And he's on board with that. He gets really worked up at the vet, which is unfortunate. I think it's because while we're waiting at the vet, he's in a really small room and we're waiting for a while, and he gets just kind of bored, and then he gets kind of worked up. So by the time the vet comes in to see him, he doesn't really want to have his teeth looked at or he doesn't want to be examined or to sit still. And he relaxes really well at home, and I can handle him, and I can look at his teeth and everything just fine at home. But the vet's like, well, you really need to work on this with him so that he's calmer about letting people touch him. And I'm like, I swear, it's just hard. It's just hard for a puppy. He's bored. I do not shave his paw grooves. No, if it became a problem later on, I would look into that. I do have clippers, although they're really kind of for me. Cat hates her nails being clipped. Dogs with black nails never know how to let it go. Moose has half black nails, half white nails, and I just err on the side of trimming off just the tips of them. His also wear down pretty well because we do a lot of walking. We do a lot of walking on sidewalks, so the concrete will kind of wear them down. But his thumbnail definitely needs doing, so I err on the side of just trimming off a little bit, and then doing it more often, as opposed to doing a bigger chunk and risking cutting the quick, because that would be upsetting for everybody. Teeth are indeed important for beavers. His molars, I was looking in his mouth. Oh, I got some night sky wristbands. Cloth, 6 int, 3 spirit. I was looking at his mouth. His back teeth are so wide. They are like double rail train tracks back there. I don't know how they're going to fit in his little mouth. I think that, I mean, his teeth obviously won't grow. They're enamel, so they're just going to be the size that they are. So his mouth is going to need to grow to catch up to them. But holy smokes, he has some chunky Tic Tacs in there. I have to wait until Ellie's asleep, trim a couple nails at a time. Too wiggly to clip them while she's awake. Yes, it's tough when they're excited. I've been doing paw cleaning with Mr. Moose after we get in when it's muddy. I have one of those ridiculous contraptions called the Mud Buster that's like a big sort of like plastic tumbler that has silicone bristles inside of it, and then you kind of fill it with water and like dunk their paws into it to get mud off of them. Overpriced plastic, works great. Does a really good job. But, you know, you're sticking his paw into like a noodly cup of water, so he's looking at you like, excuse me. But he does let me do it. He's not thrilled about it, but he won't pitch a complete fit, and I can bribe him into a lot of things with beef liver. I'm lucky he's so food motivated. Asking if you do what Girls with Dog does on YouTube. Watch The Surprising Man of What is basically the same video. I've seen a few of those. Not lately. Extra large ferret. Kitty had to get her paw grooves shaved when she was getting her blood pressure taken at the vet. She had fluffy feet. Fluffy, fuzzy kitty feet. I'm only 2 bars away from being done. That'll be exciting. Or not done, but like level 36. Progress, you know. A new high score for Hazel Hardcore. I don't think there's any chest spawns in this cave. I think if there was, I would have found one by now. I'm checking all the normal spots that there usually are chests in these maps, and I'm not seeing anything. Unless somebody's just like sneaking them while I'm in the wrong corner, but At least there's ore. Hot. that tea cozy, the ducks do a really good job. That's very hot tea still. Holy moly. Sometimes with cave, the chest spawns are outside of it. Oh, maybe I should go check the front then. That would make sense. I like the spot. I wish I could skin the ogres. That sounds a bit gruesome, but it's true. I wish I could skin them. If I could take thick leather off of them and I get 5 silver per, I'm not against it. I'm a warlock. You think I got morals? Oh, man. They give cloth, but like, you know, where's the fun in that? I love seeing 100+ pound dog-shaped horses get showered. They look so amazing. I like the ogre sound cues. They just sound like they're having a lot of fun. They see you and they're like, I'm gonna fight with you, and they're like, ha ha, ha ha. And it's just, I'm glad they're happy, you know? Have skin? Why can't I skin it? They let me skin wendigos. They let me skin worgen. I guess those are furry. But when I skin, I'm pulling up leather, not fur, you know? Yeah, let's check the front of the cave. Whelp skin leather shoulders. You were farming from ICC. From Velrithia, no less. Oof. Drying took 4 hours. Yeah, that's the trouble with Moose when I get him all the way wet in the bathtub, is that it takes him ages to dry because he doesn't like the blow dryer. And maybe I just need to be more slow with the blow dryer. And again, bribe him into it more cautiously. But he so far does not seem to really like the blow dryer. He loves the towel. I can like preheat a towel in the dryer and I give him warm fluffy towel and he's a happy boy. And then of course he'll run around and shake, but like it takes him a while to air dry, and when it's chilly in the winter, I don't want him to get cold. Hope you wore the whelp skin shoulders to the daycare. Bye kids. How's it going? Did you know the Wicked Witch of the West was a kindergarten teacher? You mean like the actress that played her? I did not know that. Or like the actual story. It's been a while since I've read Wicked. Quick lecture on what double coat means. I can give an approximation as a non-dog expert, but somebody who has a dog and has had double-coated dogs. They're gonna have 2 layers to their coat. One's kind of like a fluffy, downy underlayer, and then they're going to have a layer of longer, stiffer hairs, kind of like a guard coat on the top of that. The guard coat offers sort of weatherproofing, and the undercoat is going to offer insulation. And they'll actually shed their undercoat typically twice a year to prepare for new seasons. So they'll get fluffier in the winter and then they'll blow it out in the spring. And they do the same thing, like, I think in the fall. I guess I don't know exactly when they shed. It just makes them shed an insane amount, and it also makes them really smooshy and fluffy when you get your fingers in there, and they're all fluffy, wonderful, lovey. I love them. They shed a ton, but I don't care. I've got a vacuum. I will buy the vacuums. I will do the vacuuming. I just want the fluffy love bug. Plus, it helps him be warm outside, you know? He doesn't need to put on a coat when he's going outside to walk. But if you've ever, like, been outside to a dog park and you've seen what looks like a rabbit massacre, it's possible it was a rabbit massacre, but assuming there's no blood, it's just like a bunch of fluff everywhere, it's entirely possible somebody took their big, fluffy, double-coated dog there to groom it, because if you have, especially a large one, but even a small one, even Kleekais, if you're brushing them out, which is a good way to help them shed their coat, you're going to make a snowstorm of hair. So it is very good to not do it indoors. Do it outdoors. And if you're an apartment dweller and you don't have outdoors, people will go to like parks, trails, fields, anywhere. Anywhere that's not your living room to brush the dog to get that hair out of them. April to July, and then from August to March. Yeah, pretty much. Joker used to shed continuously all year round, and you would notice when he was doing it more so because you'd be able to actually pick it out in tufts off of him. It didn't hurt. It was just kind of like you would come out in big little clumps. Big and little clumps. Word master over here. But he would shed constantly. And Moose does too. Moose has a black undercoat, which I'd never seen before. My childhood Malamute and the Joker both had white undercoats, and Moose's fluffy black hair as his undercoat, and it's really pretty. Tea good. Recommend. I think today's gonna be another day with a lot of naps. I had some aspirations of like getting it together and doing the news video. And I think it's not gonna happen today. Yellow quest, yellow mob and cave. The quest I think is a lost hope because while I am getting very slowly the tusks and the medicine pouches I need, I actually have all the medicine pouches. I'm very slowly getting what I need from these occasional witch doctors in this cave. The shadow hunters don't spawn in here. They spawn in this cave, and that cave is a bad place to be. So I'm thinking that I'm not going to get that quest done. I just kind of have it for fun. Also, I've done a terrible job here. Hellgrave, you're dying. We're nearly level 36. We're 93%. Kitty, you going back to bed? I'm getting my pillow back. Oh. Don't mind me nesting. Is the quest a lost hope, or is it called a lost hope? It's called Worth Its Weight in Gold. But then I'm gathering like teeth and medicine pouches. I don't know that they're that heavy. When was the original Star Trek? Random nerd trivia. I was browsing Netflix, and I noticed that Star Trek The Next Generation from the 90s said it was decades after the original, and made me wonder, when was the original? 60s? Are we talking movies or TV show? I finished watching the K-drama that I was watching, so I'm kind of poking around looking for something new to put on. What's your favorite homesick watch? I feel like I tend to default to Disney movies, but Disney movies and K-dramas. I used to just drink liters and liters of honey lemon ginseng tea and Shane watch K-dramas with my cat on the couch whenever I was sick. Show came first and then the movie. Original show was in the 60s. Ah. Was the show the original IP, or was there a book first? Price is Right. Movies or TV shows? Either. What is your preference when you're not feeling so good? What am I doing? Why have I lost aggro on both of these things? What am I killing first? I'm killing the witch doctor first. I'm gonna ping down the totems. We gotta pay a little bit of attention because we could die. It's possible. This is what happens when your dots fall off because you probably didn't put all of them up. Hellgrave does no melee damage. Rather play, but South Park might be the closest. Disney and pizza. Pizza's not a bad idea. I think I have a frozen pizza. No way, she's invincible. Pirates trilogy. Grey's Anatomy. My mom loves Grey's Anatomy. I've never watched it. I feel like that's one of those shows where there's a lot of it, which makes it intimidating to get into if you've never started it. Haven't been sick in a while. Do you like rom-coms? Anything I've seen a bajillion times before has a lot of seasons. If I doze off, doesn't matter. Some good ideas in here.
Diana DCs, thank you very much for the 2-month resub. Appreciate it. For me, it would be supernatural and such.
I watched a cheesy romance K-drama called Love to Hate You that I got a good kick out of. It had been a long time since I'd watched one of those. My partner and I watched it together, and it was really fun. It was exactly what I wanted. I wanted somebody with unrealistic martial arts prowess out of nowhere. I wanted fight scenes. I wanted cheesy love confessions. I wanted handsome boys in sweaters drinking while depressed. Show had it all. You watched Canada's Drag Race already? It was much funnier than I expected. I have not seen it. That's a good idea, though. I learned that the Balrog in Moria was not a minion of Sauron. Just like Shelob. Shelob was there before Sauron, and sometimes he would, like, you know, send her some prisoners for funsies, and he kind of let her be because he didn't mind her watching that pass, but, like, she doesn't work for him. She doesn't really care about what he says. She's just like, me hungry. Yum yum. Eat people. Yum yum yum. You know? I just finished the Twin Towers, 2 towers. I'm on the 3rd book now. I just started Return of the King. If I've only watched a small handful of shows more than once, comfort show be like The Mentalist. Good show. Any of the Wheel of Time TV series? I have not. I recently, for the first time ever, read The Wheel of Time, and I haven't watched the show. I think I'm too annoying to watch the show. I think I'm going to be too picky about, well, it wasn't like this in the books. I'm going to be that person. I'm not saying that's a nice person to be, but I think that's going to be, I'm going to be that person. I think I'm going to ruin my own enjoyment of what could otherwise be a very fun TV show out of pedantry and pickiness. What 2 towers is the title talking about? Presumably Minas Tirith and I guess Minas Morgul. Formerly Minas Ithil. You would assume, although they didn't really do a whole lot in Minas Morgul, so maybe there's another one. Could have been Orthanc as well. Orthanc was more featured in the book. 100% that person with books to movies. But yeah, it was never like explicitly stated. Heard about the Montgora tournament. Would you join? I saw the headline. I didn't read the article. It doesn't really sound up my alley. It was played by Christopher Lee, Ian Fleming, James Bond. Those are some words. I think I'm kind of losing it. What time is it? It's 11:15. We're so close. I think if I can finish this level, then we can probably... We've got 9 more minutes. If we can grind for 9 minutes, finish our level, Hearth to Iron Fortune, then I can probably go back to bed. That's okay. We've got more tea. We killed Kovork once. I'm happy. Need to get in the mood. New season of what, Wheel of Time or something else? Cringe procedural, the gimmick that one of the main characters is a no-nonsense female cop and the other lead is a charlatan. Huh. Wheel of Time. The scene in the books, in one of the early books, where all the rats start to die, that really freaked me out. That was scary. It wasn't even directly threatening, it just really gave me the heebie-jeebies. Historical costume clothing approves massive Wheel of Time fan. Oh, okay. That's cool. I think I saw a video once. Oh, I want that. What is it? Iron. We need. I took myself off of watching YouTube because I found myself unable to regulate the amount of time I spent watching it. I have a tendency to compulsively use digital media to kind of self-medicate anxiety in a way that's not constructive for me. So I block myself from a lot of different websites to kind of help. Excuse me. I was here first. Okay. I would block myself from a lot of websites, but it's occurred to me that I have gotten really out of touch with what people like on YouTube because I'm not watching it anymore. And one of the things that I used to do that kind of informed what I wanted to do with my own YouTube content was I would watch a lot of stuff. So maybe I should just give it up and do some market research. Put something on while I'm grinding in Classic and see if I don't die. Time blocking with alarms. Yeah. It doesn't go well. I tend to it's not been good for me. I've been kind of an abstinence or nothing kind of person. I'm more involved BRB screen. I hadn't worried about it. No better time for market research than recover from a cold. Yeah. The tricky thing, though, is I would probably want to watch gaming content or even WoW content because that's the content that I make. So that might give me a better idea of what people want to watch. Although, I don't know if lack of ideas has been my problem. It's been lack of doing. Executive dysfunction, etc., etc. I used to watch... I used to really enjoy Sophia Nygaard just doing regular, I don't know, lifestyle stuff. But that scratched an itch for me. I liked her. I feel like I got a little bit out of it though because it started, that style of content, while fun, it started to feel like a lot of very consumerism focused stuff. And that became less what I wanted to consume. Taliesin says he's guest next X back. Well, that's great. He's going to be difficult for a while. I like them. I'm excited for Chris's return. Sure. YouTube habits have been drawfee for fun. Educational stuff like documentaries. That used to be my weakness, was like, quote unquote, infotainment. Summer Freeze Gaming, welcome, welcome. I guess I can leave the cave and do a lap around it. There's a little bit of competition inside here.
What's the alternative zone to this? Stranglethorn and Desolith. 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 Holy moly, I'm falling asleep. Are the other zones that are kind of 30 plus. Similar bracket. Not exactly the same bracket, but a similar level bracket to here. I was doing, I did kind of 30 to 35-ish. 32 to 35, 33, 35 to in Northern Stranglethorn farming beasts. And that was good. That was fun. It's good skinning. There's also beasts you can grind out here. I was just kind of hoping for... Well, honestly, I was hoping for chests. If there's no chests and I can't skin them, then really I should probably leave the ogres alone and move on. Go farm raptors or something. We are so close to leveling. We are 99%. We need another 1,000 experience. Like 10, not even 10, like 9 ogres, something like that. One of the best zones for skinning. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You just got to be careful of everything. You got to be careful you don't run too far off. Had to block Belly's YouTube channel. If you want market research, don't turn into that, dude. You can't deny that he's very effective. I haven't watched his videos. I'm sure they're fairly level-headed. From what I remember from when I met him, he was a perfectly nice... He was nice. He was smart. I think he's just like a very motivated person who's very into optimization. And it's, you know, he figured out what worked and he did it. I think that there is value to doing things that are effective. And you also kind of have to find your own personal balance between that and what makes you unique as a creator and what makes you feel good about your content. I think I sometimes tend to the wrong extreme of not doing very much because I find a lot of things distasteful. And I think I'm just kind of snobby at this point. Like, I need to just chill. I just need to relax and stop worrying about it so much and just make some videos. So close to a ding. Yeah, drama works, controversy works, negativity works. And those are buttons I really don't feel good about pressing, especially if it's the thing where you've got like the super, you know, negative topic, and then, you know, you click into the video, and of course it's a very well-balanced, nuanced take, but like, you know, you're getting the clicks with the outrage. I know that's how the game works, but, you know, part of the reason it works like that is because people click on it, and part of the reason is because people make it. And I can't help what people click on, but I can help what I make, so... I don't know if that's the way to go, but also I don't do anything, so I can't sit here and be all high and mighty about the content that I make when I barely make anything. So there's no wisdom in that. It's interesting how the effective formulas for game content can differ a fair amount across games too. WoW videos tend to have a certain style that isn't exactly what you see in videos for other games. It gets a bit. I was gonna say insular, but that's not the right word. Like each game kind of develops its own content culture. You know, Stardew Valley? You can marry people. I didn't know you could have children. Yeah, you can. You can also, if you regret your children, you can pay the witch to turn them into doves. Or you pay the witch's altar to turn them into doves. Or pigeons or something like that. Birds. To get rid of them because they don't do anything but get in your way. I always elected in that game to get married and not have children. My spouse would be like, should we have children? And I would be like, go back to bed. Better than turning them into doves. Woo! Level 36. New high score for Hazel. High score hardcore. Yep. More. Kirk AF, thank you very much for the 49-month resub. Hey Hazel, happy over 4 years. You knew you could sacrifice your children? Yeah! It's one of those things you just read in a guide somewhere. You pick it up on the wiki. I've got all kinds of useless Stardew Valley trivia. How's your mount fun going? I'm a warlock. I'm living. I'm fast and loose. I'm blowing gold in Goldshire. I'm not blowing gold in Goldshire, but I don't need a mount fund. Not on this character anyway. Aw, thanks, Garrett. I'm taking a sick week off of the news video. I've got a bit of a cold, so I figured I would do a cozy stream, but sit out the research and the editing. Read it somewhere. I swear I never done it. Never did it. Stardew Valley sounds kind of good, but I feel like I need to give it a little more cooldown time before I do another replay. Is my Hearthstone up? It is. It is up. I am playing classic, hardcore classic, so permadeath. If we die, this character's done. Zateri, thank you for the 7-month resub. Who's your spouse in Stardew? Most recently, Leah. But I've been all over the map. Do you have a child then? No, I've never let any of my characters procreate. I've always turned it down. Not my fantasy game cup of tea. Are people doing raids on hardcore? I don't know. Probably. Sounds like the kind of thing they might do. We need to get back to town and get all sorted out. Spend my talent point. I can't put any points into this one yet. I'm eventually going to need to put 1 point into there. And I think now is actually not a bad time to do it, because I'll have to do it at some point. And then we can start dumping points into Master Demonologist eventually. I'm not going to actually I'm not going to actually use it, but I can have it. Because you need to get that in order to get Soul Link. Which is funny, because they're like mutually exclusive. Like you can't have Soul Link while you're demon sacrificed. I mean, maybe you can. No, lasts as long as the demon is active. It sounds like you can't. Oh well. Sucker for Bethesda games gave Starfield a shot, like the game. YouTube content for that game is 90% useless, like it was all made by AI bots shoveled out ASAP. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what the landscape for games content becomes in the next couple of years, because a lot of it was already, I don't want to say low effort, but fairly formulaic. And that means that a lot of the legwork for things like scripts can be automated by AI like ChatGPT now. So you're going to end up with a lot of people that, even if the video doesn't do as well, if you can make it with like 1/10 of the effort, people are just going to try and maximize that. And there's going to be a lot more AI generated content, which is either going to just become eventually acceptable, and that's going to be the thing, or if people continue to seek out content that they find to be more, entertaining or soulful or whatever, then somebody that's still putting in the work to like actually write it uniquely might have an advantage for a while. But eventually the bots are going to get smarter and the bot generated content is going to get better. And then I guess I'm out of a job. So I should probably have a contingency plan. Yeah, I've yet to hop on the AI, well, I guess I can't say that. I'm sure that some of my software is using AI for me. I know that Photoshop uses AI in some things, but the only thing I'm really doing in it that might be AI related is object selection. And even that's not that smart yet. Streaming's not going to be AI affected? You don't think so? I think that's not that far off. Photoshop AI stuff isn't that good? Not yet. It'll catch up. I'm gonna hearth. We're done here. We're good for now. I don't know where I'm gonna farm next. I might poke around Desolus and see if I like anything out there. It's a long way away. It's really far, but I like a little bit of variety while I'm leveling.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to sell. I don't want to sell this hat because it's awesome. And I got it from like a Warlock quest. But it's not good for me. It doesn't have any stamina on it. I guess I could stick it in my bank, but I could also just vendor for 12 silver. There's no sense in being sentimental. Hardcore transmog win. Shove it in your bank. Why? For what? Night sky conjures spirit. Does anybody want a 15 spirit chest piece? Maybe like a healer. Alright. 36. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna wrap it up. I am still planning to stream tomorrow. If for some reason I am not better, I may sleep in. So if I don't show up, then I'm not dead. I'm just in bed. But in any case, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate the company. I hope all you guys stay happy and healthy out there. Appreciate you guys and have a wonderful, wonderful day.